Today I'm going to show you how to sound design 5 sinister sounding patches on the Digitone II. We're going to be focusing on basses and drones that have a distinctly darker tone to them.
All right, let's revisit our patches really quick. We're gonna use all 4 of these engines and we're gonna make similar sounding patches from every single engine, but of course they're gonna be a little bit different, but they're all gonna be in the same zone of just nasty. We'll start off with the FM tone engine. I would go through the process of what I do when I'm starting a new patch on the Digitone II. Every single time I skip page 1, I go straight to page 2 and start bringing up my A and B modulation levels, because without these, we're not really going to be able to get much feedback. We're not going to be able to get any of the harmonics or the detune or the harmonics and the feedback here. They're very, very powerful for the FM engine. And if you don't have this turned up at all, you're just not going to hear them. So if you start on this page to start making your patch, you're not really doing very much. In fact, you're kind of just playing with like ghost patch. It's just nothing's really changing. So until you go to page 2 and adjust your modulation level, this page doesn't do very much. So I just go here and turn this up until it starts sounding a little bit, a little bit more shrill than a sine wave, and go back to this page, and now I can play with this page and get into the nasty zone. And as soon as you hear something, this is just a golden tip. As soon as you hear something that sounds cool as you're just playing, like if we liked this, that might be something we want to modulate. Maybe we just want to have, a ramp that just goes up and goes. You know what I mean? That's when you start grabbing your modulators as soon as you hear something you like. Use your hand first, then use an LFO afterwards. And we're gonna ignore this page too, honestly. We're not gonna be doing much here. It's awesome that we have all this available to us, but we're not gonna be doing much in this FM tone. But here we can just like offset things by the smallest amounts. So now I'm gonna go over to my amplifier and we're just gonna give this a short attack. I don't really need any release because we're just gonna be like, we just wanna be able to like, slam this note on and off, so that's why we're going to use this. We could also switch this over to the AHD and then just kill the release. Also a very useful envelope for this particular patch that we're doing. And we're just making a huge beefy sound. Okay, next thing we want to do, these are going to be bass patches, so I'm going to make these act in that way. I don't want them to be polyphonic, so I'm going into my track setup, turning off polyphonic part of this patch. So now it's a mono patch. I'm gonna go to my effects page and we're gonna change from pre-filter overdrive to post-filter overdrive. We're gonna actually bring an EQ in, make a sharp notch. So we're gonna actually take this sharp notch, we're gonna have it go up and shoot up every single time I hit a note. So I'm gonna go to the filters frequency. We're gonna set this to trig. And I'm just gonna go ahead and we could probably use a softness. We could actually use another LFO to also kind of just modulate it. We could go audio rate. All right, well, let's also turn on portamento here. We can get post-filter overdrive. There we go. Of course, you could add chorus. I don't really want to, but we could. Although it does sound pretty good with it. And with our last modulator, I think we want to do the harmonics. And I want to use this ramp up. Maybe we'll just use trig. Cool. I think we have our first patch. We're like kind of high up on the keyboard, so I'm actually going to bring this down 2 octaves here, so that when the patch gets loaded, that it just plays at a bass note, so I don't have to go down and find the bass. So now we save it. Once you're already in the zone, right? Some of these techniques we've done, we can apply to multiple patches, like this notch filter. Once you have a sound that you like, and you're like, this is pretty cool, what's great is the algorithm change is very powerful on the Digitone. So you can quickly go to another patch in similar territory with a different feedback routing. It's gonna give you a whole nother harmonic spectrum to play with just by adjusting your algorithm. Algorithm 3 kicks ass. Algorithm 4 is my nasty patch. Nasty. Start over. So over here we're going to use FM drum. I love FM drum, and one of the cool things you can do to make some of these nasty patches is to add a bit of sweep. It's kind of like the Portamento experience. You can also pair it with the Portamento. This engine's really fun because this engine is extremely immediate. It's actually a less confusing version of the FM engine. They're all FM engines, right? They're all using the same engine, but the other engine looks like a spaceship. Like you could take this screen out and put it somewhere in a Star Wars movie and you'd be like, I guess that fits. Probably flies the X-Wing. It's a little bit less confusing. It looks a little bit more like synthesis. Just the shapes, even if you don't read this and just look at what's on the screen, it's a little bit more obvious what's going on. And we go straight into, you know, like getting nasty sounds. Like we didn't have to go in and set some stuff up. It just makes the sound. You do have to understand the other engine a lot further than this one. This one's on rails to a much higher degree. Something we want to modulate, right? So hear the sweep. The sweep is making it really distorted at the very beginning. Without sweep. So it has that crunch. So let's check out unison here. Sounds pretty dope with unison. I do prefer it off. Maybe we will use a little bit of chorus. We are again doing post filter for our overdrive, and we are just overdriving. If you don't do post filter overdrive, this is what it sounds like. I don't know if you can tell the difference. I can. There's a lot of like mid highs that kind of just vanish. Still sounds good, but this adds the little gritty, like the really dirty stuff at the top. Once again, we are gonna go and change this to mono. We could do it like a low pass filter version. Okay, I want that sound to repeat. So let's go and set that up. Operator AB, so let's go to modulator, find operator AB. So it's a trig. Set our speed to like 16. A rhythm that is more natural. See what happens when it goes faster. Let's check it out with a saw. We're not even using the envelope. We're literally just passing this sound right through the filter. The overdrive is doing the work for us. We could assign it to our filter as well if we wanted. Hold this, hit copy, go here, hold this. So we're holding the LFO page or mod page, and hitting paste, and now we just select a new destination. What's nice about doing this method where you take a modulation that you already like the rhythm of it and just copying and pasting it, is it's literally just selecting a new destination, and you're going to get a nice timbre change that fits the rest of your rhythmic modulation. Bring it to the filter, I think that was my idea. So I do that a lot. This is a really good one. I am again gonna just use the AHD envelope here. Sick. Let's get some portamento on it. Oh, not retrig. Only a little bit of chorus on that too. It is huge. Maybe we'll just leave a little bit of noise going. All right, let's save our patch. Pure filth. Let's go to wavetone. What's cool about wavetone is it's just a basic synthesizer. It's really much easier to understand if you're just familiar with subtractive synthesis. Wavetone's got you covered. It's pretty simple. So if I hold function, I turn this on the waveforms, I'm actually going to snap to our primary waveforms. I'm going to go to a sawtooth and maybe we'll use a square because maybe we'll modulate the pulse width, which sounds awesome on square. We're going to go here and we're going to turn the mod section. We have a ring mod, we have ring mod fixed, and we have hard sync. Hard sync is what we're going to use today. When you're using hard sync, the top oscillator becomes the hard sync modulator, I guess is a good way to put it. Our primary tone is actually synth 2. And what we want is to go to our modulator, and I actually want to modulate oscillator 1's pitch, and in a very strong way, because it's not going to make it sound out of tune, it's going to add character to the sound. Set it on trig, that means it'll re-trigger the phase of our LFO every single time I hit a note. It's going pretty slow. Already in kind of a cool spot. So it's a bit quiet because we haven't done our distortion. Again, we're gonna do post filter overdrive, and this is one of the tricks here, is that just always lots of overdrive. Let's do the equalizer patch again, where we use the notch, the really sharp knot, and we are once again gonna modulate filter frequency. That's actually really cool. Not exactly what I intended to do, but we do have like noise and stuff that we can add to this. I'm gonna add vibrato with this last modulator, I think. Master tune. Sounds really cool as a lead. So this one with like some sidechain on it, soft, but destructive sounding, but gentle. It's that, you know, don't hit me too hard. Swarmer. The Swarmer one is really already kind of set up to make these sounds. It's kind of just what this engine does. Again, post filter overdrive. Go to setup, set this to mono again. So check this out. This is audio rate modulation on the octave selector. This is something you would do in your modular synth. This is cool stuff. It's like almost like it's like playing a chord. Oh my god, this sounds really good with unison. What really made this patch stand out was us doing audio rate modulation to our octave. Save this sucker. Now let's do FM tone again. We're gonna use algorithm 4. This is my favorite destructive algorithm. Bit of beating. Who wants wants a beating. I love FM. Go back to mono. I love algorithm 4 because it's just all X. Like that's just ghost sounds. Oh yeah. Post filter overdrive, let's do it. That's what I want to modulate. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Sweet spot right there. We want A/B feedback to ramp it. Okay, we want this to go faster with different notes that we hit. Rant, rant, rant. But I want it to go rant, 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 rant. So we'll see what we can do to get there. Going back and inverting the speed. Inverting the speed will invert the shape. Do a little bit of attack again. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go into key tracking. What I wanna do for my modulator with the key tracking is I actually wanna target the speed, but we have to be very particular about the values that we put in. Maybe we use a negative modulation because of how we were doing our modulation to begin with, because we were using the LFO at a negative speed anyway. My goal was to make it speed up and slow down based on what note you hit and still have it be in time. And we did that. So now we can actually add more to that, right? We could go really crazy with key tracking. This is pretty fun stuff, but like you have to be in the mood. I'm in the mood. Honestly, I think I'd rather just use the chorus. Sounds cool. We got 2 more LFOs. Copy, paste. Give me that filter cutoff. That sounds really nasty in the. Now let's have the key tracking also adjust the speed of this one so that they match. Mod 1 speed, -32. We want to go mod 2 speed, -32. Post filter overdrive. Such a game change. Like it completely changes the character of the Digitone. I would say it's not slept on or anything like that. I don't really know. But what I would say is that it is awesome and you should do it all the time. I always want post filter overdrive. It should be the default setting. If you like videos like these and you want to see more of them, go ahead and leave a comment down below and tell me so. And if you'd like to go a little further and support this channel, you can visit patreon.com/EZBOT and sign up to be a patron. My name's Matthew, aka EZBOT. Thanks for hanging out and I'll see you next time.